Has Disney made its final decision when it comes to James Gunn's firing and possible rehiring? There's some new information out there. We're breaking it all down. This is the Nerdy News Rundown. Let's get you filled in. Guys, it hasn't been coffee that's been keeping James Gunn up at night. Real quick, before we get into the news, I and the Den of Nerds crew are going to be a part of Keystone Comic-Con in Philadelphia from September 14th to the 16th. More info on some of the cool content we're doing from the show floor and that weekend in Philly. If you're in the area, make sure you come on out, check out the con, check out the Den of Nerds. All right, so let's get right into this. Multiple outlets are reporting that Disney has finalized their decision and that they will not be rehiring James Gunn. Also, hopefully this is the last time we have to talk about this particular story. I'm sure we'll talk about James Gunn in the future, and we'll get to that in a second, but I think this story's finally over. And this story has been pretty wild. There's been a lot of ups and downs. You'll remember that James Gunn was targeted by some people that dug up all these old tweets. He was basically fired very quickly by Alan Horn. Then there was support shown by the cast, really spearheaded by Dave Bautista. Then there were some reports that maybe Feige wanted Disney to hire him back, and that there were still some conversations that had to be had between Disney and James Gunn. There was also some weird pictures that came up with James Gunn going to like a pedophilia themed party from back in the day, and apparently people were really bothered by that. So I don't know, that's the thing. Ultimately though, Disney decided to stay with the decision that Alan Horn made. Apparently Alan Horn did take a meeting with James Gunn, more out of just courtesy is what's being reported. Apparently Kevin Feige was not a part of this meeting, and Kevin Feige has still not weighed in on this decision, at least publicly. As of right now, most outlets are reporting that Disney will not hire him back, but is open to using his script. However, when they hire a new director for Guardians 3, that director will probably change aspects of the script to make the film more their project. Now, many people in media predicted this inevitable outcome. I mean, Disney acted very swiftly, and it would be pretty odd for a company like that to walk back on a decision that was made by someone as powerful as Alan Horn. When you get fired by the big boss, it's usually really, really bad. It's not going to be turned around for you. However, with the support of the cast and honestly other celebrities out there and other people of influence, it was an interesting thing to watch James Gunn and the perception of him kind of go from like, oh yeah, screw that guy, to, oh man, is he possibly the victim here? And I don't know if either of those things are true. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But with all of that noise that the cast was making, and with a lot of the support that people gave Gunn online, both fans and other people involved in media alike, it was interesting to see Disney at least consider bringing him back. Now, the one thing I'll say about this that's good moving forward is not only is it good for James Gunn, and we'll talk about this in a moment, but it's good for media in general. We can't just allow Twitter and angry internet mobs to destroy people's careers. That's just, it's crazy, and I am not a fan of how you get tried on social media for crimes current or past. I think that's crazy. I think that stuff needs to stop. However, from a business perspective, Disney needs to protect its brand. Obviously, this stuff will follow James Gunn around for a long, long time, and Disney just cannot have that association made to their brand and their company. Overall, though, I think James Gunn is leaving this situation much better than I thought he would be leaving this situation. I mean, first of all, if they use his script and he's still credited, that is awesome for him. I think he's still going to be paid somewhere close to $10 million for his involvement with Guardians 3. On top of that, it looks like some of the tarnishment of his character has been sort of, I guess, replaced by the support that the cast gave him and Dave Bautista gave him. There are reports that other studios are really eyeing up James Gunn and would love to have him spearhead one of their big franchises and their big movies. There are a lot of talks that Warner Brothers might grab up Gunn and put him in charge of something over there. So overall, for James, it's been from like your career is completely over to like, hey, maybe you'll even get your job back, to like now where it's like you won't get your job back, but you'll likely still have a pretty good career after this. I consider that a win for James Gunn, and probably a win for society. I mean, like, I know a lot of people are really bothered by these tweets and by these jokes.